Analyzing Bill Gates' nonverbal communication. Recently, he appeared on Fabio Fazio's television show. What an excellent opportunity to explore his personal life a little more deeply. Here's an initial glimpse, and in the upcoming days, I will continue. For now, here's the introduction. Let's watch and listen attentively.
Indeed, the occasion is the release of this book, the first part of a trilogy about his life, essentially his biography. Source Code, My Beginnings, Mr. Gezi. Is this really you? Do you see yourself in this photo?
Certainly, without any hesitation.
Thus, the occasion is the introduction of the initial publication of a trilogy concerning the life of Bill Gates. Consequently, Fabio Fazio inquires of him, "Do you perceive yourself in this child?" To which he replies, "Absolutely." He underscores how he possessed very blonde hair during his childhood. Nevertheless, this image of him as a child does not genuinely evoke positive memories for him. As can be observed from his expression, this is not an expression of joyfulness. In recollecting his younger self, isn't it rather the contrary? Furthermore, he sways slightly and gives a subtle shake of his head in denial while crossing his arms. I would prefer to emphasize with a shrug, but we shall examine that more thoroughly later. The shoulder. He does not perceive himself in that child. I don't believe they employed a misleading image. Instead, I think he has substantial issues with that child. Let's proceed.
I was very blonde as a child, but...
What was this child like? What thoughts occupied his mind? What was this child contemplating?
I was exceptionally fortunate during my childhood because I was blessed with truly wonderful parents. My father practiced law as a lawyer. He read numerous books to me, and I experienced what one might describe as an idyllic childhood. It might not have been easy for my parents, considering I was an extremely lively child, however. They enrolled me in excellent educational institutions and set an exemplary standard for me. I was indeed very fortunate, and I had the opportunity to use computers from a very young age.
Speaking about that child, he mentions that he was indeed a very fortunate child. Yet behind this assertion lies a contradiction. On numerous occasions, his father, who was a lawyer, would read him a multitude of books, and the shoulder betrays.
This is the person I used to be.
I was exceptionally fortunate during my childhood because I had truly wonderful parents. My father, who was a practicing lawyer, read numerous books to me. I experienced what one might describe as an idyllic and blissful childhood.
Moreover, he goes into protection. You see, he has his arms crossed.
He enrolled me in outstanding educational institutions, and they provided an exemplary model for me. I was extremely fortunate as I had the opportunity to use computers from a very early age.
Indeed, an extraordinarily, let's say, exceptionally remarkable young individual, Mr. Gates, and...
Regarding the exceptional example, the shoulder performs an upward motion.
He sent me to excellent schools. They gave me a great example.
When the human body executes an asymmetrical motion, it invariably indicates deception, with one exception. When the mouth shifts towards a corner, it genuinely signifies contempt. However, in this particular instance, it is indeed deception. His shoulders are in contradiction to what he is articulating. From this expression he exhibits when discussing an exemplary instance, one can clearly discern Bill Gates's character. Indeed, because the precise frame of his visage is this, and within this frame allow me to describe what is observable. An asymmetrical closing of the eyes, primarily the closing of the eyes. Therefore, in reality, he is. He completely rejects the authentic image of what he is expressing. The mouth indicates contempt because it forms a subtle angle to the right, and the left shoulder is positioned higher than the right, resulting in a complete asymmetry in his body posture. He entirely dismisses the truth about what he is articulating and is not being truthful at all. So his connection with that period is quite dramatic for him. From this, one can deduce that his personality might indeed be a cynical one. A merciless personality, not in the slightest bit affectionate, because who truly knows what he harbors concerning those years? This is an excellent demonstration of the immense power of nonverbal communication, of the meticulous analysis of nonverbal cues. Even one of the wealthiest individuals globally, thus one of the most influential in the world, cannot do anything against the language of his own body, and particularly in the presence of those who possess the skill to interpret it. Give importance to nonverbal language. It absolutely changes life, and contrary to what it may seem, it brings peace. Because understanding is the foundation of individual security, just as not understanding is total insecurity. Exactly like when you enter a dark room, nothing is ever as it seems. Goodbye.